Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I've been on vacation. For those of you who are regular in this group, you know that I always go live on Wednesdays, but I was traveling yesterday, so I'm live today, just this week. This is the only Thursday I'll be live, probably, unless I go on vacation again. So welcome to today's live and happy August. I haven't seen you guys all month, all summer, all month, because I've been on vacation. So it's lovely to see you all. Today might be a little short. We'll see. Depends on how many people join live and how many questions or comments you have. But I've got some things I want to share today specifically about living in Honduras, or maybe even better to say living outside of my own country. That I've learned a lot of things living here about life, and there's little sprinkles of that throughout today, but mostly I'm going to talk about what I've learned by observing other business owners in other countries, in this country, and what it's taught me about business. And I want to share a few little stories or examples for you today. So let me know if you're here, if you're live. I'd love to know that you're here. Say hi and I will say hi back. Okay, so, and just a couple of announcements. Again, normally I go live on Wednesdays, so I will be live next week here in the group on Wednesday at this time. So it's 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. I go live every Wednesday. And next week is our monthly intuitive reading. So if you haven't caught one of those, be sure to catch them. There's replays in the group. And I channel intuitive guidance for people around their business. Everybody who comes live can ask one question. I get to as many questions as I can during the hour. And we just go through what's going on with your business. What do you need help with? And I channel intuitive guidance. It's super fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. I think it's most people's favorite thing about this group, about this group. And the other thing is if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching, I have a couple of spots opening up in the next month or 2. So drop me a line. I will post here in the comments. I have a link to my calendar. You can just put yourself on my calendar, hop on a quick free call with me and see if we're a good fit. So if that's of interest, like I said, I think I have 2 slots opening up. I can't remember if they're both open in September or if one's September, one's October. But anyway, reach out to me. I just got back from vacation. Reach out to me or click the link here that I'll put in the comments after I close, and let's just have a free call. You don't have to really do anything other than hop on a call with me. I do ask you to answer a few questions before our call, just so we can have an efficient conversation. But just hop on a call, see if we're a good fit. Okay, so today, what living in Honduras has taught me about business. I have 3 little stories / examples that I want to share about some business people here. And I want to set the stage just a little bit. So the 3 companies, the 3 people I'm going to be talking about have established and successful businesses. So I just want to set that out up front. These are people with successful businesses. All 3 of which have been around for quite a while. That's not to say that you can't follow these people's practices if you are a new business, but I do state this, I use them as examples because they have been around a while and they are successful. And the way that these examples and these stories I'm gonna tell you are ways to run your business a little differently, and it's gonna shake up your idea and your perception. It certainly did mine, of like what's appropriate business practice, or that's not even the right way, how most people do it. These guys run it on their own terms. If you're not new to me, you know that I always say, run your business on your own damn terms. I think it's the only way to do it, especially if you are an entrepreneur or a creative in this group, because this group is specifically for people who are doing work that they are deeply passionate about, that is using their unique talents and gifts. That's really, most people I think are doing work that they really are meant to, or that they feel meant to do in the world. And so I believe that if you're doing that type of work, you can be successful, right? This is different than people who are, coming up with inventions of things that they think might make money and trying to sell them. Nothing wrong with that, but that's a very different approach to business, right? Than I have this purpose and this mission, I'm going to put it out in the world and make some money with it at the same time, as opposed to I'm just going to go out for the purpose of making money. There is a difference. And the people who I'm speaking to are the people who are purposeful, heart-centered, mission-driven, who also want to make money, okay? So my point is, all three of these different stories or different examples or different business practices come from people who are successful. So I think that's important to say up front. And again, all of these really, I'm going to give you like all the information up front here. My point with all of these stories is, just like life, you get to run your business the way that you want to, the way that makes sense for you, the way that makes sense for your business, for your clients, for your market, for you as a person, as a business person, as a, for your style, for your talents. There's a lot of people out there telling people how to run a business, and they're not wrong, but they are telling people that they have to run a business a certain way. And a lot of what I help my clients to do is to find their own way. And this isn't to say, got a few caveats I want to share, guys. This isn't to say, that you have to recreate the wheel and come up with some other marketing way to market yourself that nobody's come up with before. No, there's a lot of marketing practices out there. There's a lot of, if you're in an online business, which is most of us, or you're using social media to promote your business, which is, I think, almost everybody these days, but you don't have to. I know people who have successful businesses who do not spend time on social media marketing their stuff, right? But my point is, there are lots of ways to market yourself, lots of business models out there. I'm not suggesting that you start from scratch and you don't listen to people who have expertise in certain areas, but don't get stuck in the rat race of having to do it a certain way if it doesn't fit your style or if it doesn't match your business. The point, I think, one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is you call your own shots, right? For sure, there's times where, oh man, I got to call my own shots. Like, this is all up to me, but you get to call your own shots, right? And I think not enough people are comfortable in that. And that's why running a business by themselves isn't for everyone, or starting a business isn't for everyone. But if this is something you've chosen to do and you're here in this group, you're in the right place. And one of my biggest mottos, and one of the things that I've learned and continue to learn, is that you really can do it in a way that makes sense for you. So all three of these examples are things that are gonna really shake up your vision, your perspective probably around, it certainly did for me, around what you're supposed to do in business. So that's really what I wanna share today, is a few examples. So again, if you're live, say hi. I see some people live. Say hi, let me know who's on. So example number one, there is a successful pizza restaurant here. And and a little bit of a back story, because of COVID and just the cycles of things, as people are getting vaccinated and as things are freeing up, even though I know things are also changing again, we've had an influx. We were a tourist destination. We've had of course, like most places, we've had zero tourists for a really long time. And now we have a pretty big influx of tourists. And so lately there have been, there's been a lot more tourists here, a lot more business happening, right? For people who were, almost out of business, some people that almost closed their businesses or did close their businesses for a while during COVID, and now they're open and they're receiving tourists again. So one thing that I've noticed with the busy season, I have two stories that relate to this busy season, or two business examples that relate to this. One thing that I've noticed, one of my favorite places is a pizza place. And they make everything there. And they like many restaurants lately, have been inundated with people. They've gotten so many people for dinner every night that it's like, oh my God. And what I found is, so the guy who runs the pizza place, they had a super busy night and they ran out of pizza sauce. Just like I think most restaurants, even if they make it from scratch, right? The dough, they make a lot of dough in advance, right? They make the pizza sauce in advance and then they use it as the people come in, right? Well, they ran out of the ingredients, I should say, for the pizza sauce, for the spaghetti, for the, what do you have? Pasta sauce, pizza sauce, the tomato sauce. There we go, the tomato sauce. They ran out of the tomato sauce ingredients. And so they closed at like, I don't know, 7 p.m., closed for dinner. So people, tourists running around, tons of tourists running around, want to have some of the best pizza on the island, and they just decided to close. And I freaking love this story because when I heard it at first, I was like, well, this isn't a problem. You know, just send somebody to the grocery store, buy your ingredients, make some more. Maybe, you know, yeah, people have to maybe wait a little while for their pizza, let them know in advance, right? But like, this isn't a problem that can't be solved. It doesn't mean you have to close for the night. You can just make more. Well, I'm coming from first of all, I like to try to help people solve their business problems, right? But what I realized very quickly when I heard this story is the business owner was like, yeah, like we served all the people that we would normally serve in a very few hours. So check, I'm taking that as a good night. We sold out of all of our stuff. We sold out of our pizza sauce, which we always make more than we think we need. So we're done for the night. Thank you so much. That was a great day, right? It's not a problem. And I don't need to scramble, right? Like I think people in North America would typically go, oh my God, we're supposed to be open because we said we're going to be open from this time to this time. So we have to always be open from this time to this time. And we can't make a change based on, you know, life and whatever happens. And so we have to scramble and like send somebody to the grocery store and hurry up and make this stuff and tell people we're so sorry. We're not gonna be able to get their pizza right now, but if they come back, they can have some pizza and try to get the pizza sauce ready for the people who come in a little while when the pizza sauce is ready, right? Like the business owner didn't want to run his business like that. It's not that he didn't want to work hard. It's not that he didn't want to serve his people, but he didn't want to scramble when he had already was very happy with his success for the night. And so he closed and he politely told people thank you. And, you know, people who walked by after they closed saw that the lights were closed and went, oh shoot, we'll try to come back tomorrow. You know, like, it's okay. And I think so often we in business feel that we have to scramble to serve, that, oh, I should be so grateful for this influx of tourists because we've had no tourists for so long that I need to make up for my losses and I need to, you know, scramble and try to serve everybody. And if there's all these people here, I need to serve them. And I just loved it. It didn't even occur to this guy, who, by the way, is not from here. He's from a place where typically people would do the scrambling, right? So, but he decided to run his business on his own damn terms. He, as a business owner, got to make that decision. And he didn't want to wear he's got employees. He didn't want to wear his employees out. He didn't want to wear himself out. They are in the middle of a very busy season and they will be busy the next night. And they've run out of pizza sauce over and over and over again. And the North American type A part of me, I have way type B, but the North American type A part of me that still lives in there, right? It's not that I don't have that part, wants to be like, okay, so now you know that you're selling out of pizza sauce, make some more and be able to serve more people. But that isn't just serving more, just making more money, just volume, just number of hours, just numbers of people does not success make. You get your own definition of success and you run your business on your own terms. And that's what this person has done. He's very comfortable with the people he's employed, with the size of his business, and with the amount of people that they can effectively serve in any given night. And when they serve too many people, they're done. It's beautiful. It's freeing. Where in your business are you scrambling? Where in your business are you telling yourself, or even if you're making the decision that he makes, right? Like the other thing I love about this guy is he was completely at peace with his decision. I don't even know that it occurred to him to make a different decision. So where in your business are you either scrambling and trying to make more pizza sauce, right? Or solve the pizza sauce problem? Is it a problem? You get to decide that. Some people really would want to serve more people. That would make them happy that night. Okay, great. Go make more pizza sauce. Go figure that out and implement a new strategy for your pizza sauce making so that you get enough pizza sauce to serve the people that you want to, the numbers of people that you want to serve. Or decide for yourself what success is and then let it be. So again, where in your business are you scrambling? And or where in your business did you make a decision like, we're going to stop. That's too much scrambling. We're going to stop when we sell out the pizza sauce. But then are you closing your business and metaphorically closing your business for the night and then going, oh man, should I have made more pizza sauce? I wonder how many people I turned away. I wonder if any of those people will ever come back. I wonder if people are talking bad about me and say, don't go to that pizza place because they close early if they run out of sauce. Can you let that decision stand for itself? And what's happening, by the way, is that people that know that they want their pizza come early. And he's trusting that the people he's meant to serve are the people that he's going to serve, right? It's just a beautiful example. It's very, very simple. Hi, Marty. Hi, Courtney. Lovely to see you, my friends. So anyway, let me know how this is resonating with you. So that's story and example number one is the pizza sauce. Where are you scrambling? Where are you making a decision in your business that aligns to what you're doing? Let me back up. I don't actually mean where are you scrambling? Where are you in your business doing something that doesn't align to your values, right? Had he scrambled, that would be doing something that is misaligned to his values, what he decided was success, right? Because then that means he might be running his staff ragged, he might be exhausted, and then they've got to keep coming back, or they've decided to be open the next day, so then they got to come back and serve the next group of people. That's not a value that he made. That's when he set up his business, he decided to have a comfortable pace. Okay, so where are you making decisions like scrambling for pizza sauce that you can sort of come back to what makes sense for your business, what's aligned to your values, your preferences, your style, your ways of being successful. Some people love the scramble. Some people love the pressure. That's like super exciting to them. It is not for him. So he made a different choice, right? Maybe not like the North American masculine version of running a business, but he's successful and people love his freaking pizza because it's good and he does what he loves. No apologies. I don't have to make everybody happy. I don't have to serve everybody. So where can you pay attention to those types of decisions, and or where can you take those decisions and give yourself the freedom to let those decisions stand, right? Because as I said, he was very much at peace with his decision, which is what really slapped me across the face when I listened to this. Where have you made an appropriate decision for your business, but it's not what everybody, masculine, North American, type A, how they tell you to run your business would tell you to do it on paper. And so then you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? Where can you give yourself the space to make those decisions and to stick to those decisions and to not second guess yourself afterwards? Because sometimes you can make a good decision, but then if you're going to do the woulda, coulda, shoulda afterwards, it's almost just as bad because you're still stressed out, right? Oh, I made this decision, but I don't know if I should have. I wonder if somebody's talking bad about me, whatever, blah, 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 right? Okay, that's example number one. Example number two is a little bit similar. Actually, all of these I think are a little bit similar. Number two example is there's a man who has a restaurant here, a very successful restaurant here. And actually all of these are male, interestingly, male business owners. So he's got a successful restaurant. He's there's two decisions that he's made that I think are atypical, decisions that are not what they would tell you to do, decisions that are not at all based on volume and numbers and making money. This isn't to say that he doesn't make money, right? But he's not making all of his business decisions strictly from the tunnel vision of what would make him the most money. Because also you can make just as much money. I cannot tell you how many times you can make just as much money serving fewer people. There's a lot of ways to do that, right? Volume does not necessarily equal more money, which is for another day, but let's just leave it there. So this guy has never been open on the weekends. Do you know a successful restaurant that's not open on the weekends? In a tourist destination? That's so antithetical to what we've been taught, right? Wouldn't you assume that the way, I'm gonna just keep using these air quotes, that the way to run a business, if you have a restaurant in a tourist destination, is you're probably always gonna be working Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Wouldn't you just assume that? This guy doesn't want to work on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. You know why? Because most of the rest of the people that live here, just like anywhere else in the world, most people don't work on Thursday, Friday, or Friday and Saturday nights. And so he wants to go be with his friends, be with his family, be with the people that he likes, go out to another restaurant, go to a bar, go to whatever he wants to do on the weekend. He wants a weekend just like everybody else wants a weekend. So he takes his weekends. Unapologetically, he is not open on the weekends, never has been. Very, very successful restaurant. Hey, guess what? People just figure that out. If they come and they miss him because they're tourists, he's okay with them missing out. He knows that the people that he's meant to serve will come to his restaurant Monday through Thursday. And he's very comfortable with that. That's a comfortable pace for him. That's the way that he wants to run his business. I'm getting chills. I know this is speaking to somebody. The other thing that I love about him is recently, so this is a decision he made a long, long time ago, and he's stayed with it. That is what works for him. That is what works for his style, for his pace. It makes him a better restaurant owner. It makes him a better chef because he can channel his energy and his creativity and his magic cooking skills into the days that make sense for him. He's staying with his own flow and serving people in his own unique way because he knows himself and he knows how he operates best. And he's not trying to force fit his flow and his way of being with, you know, the business hour or whatever, you know, business days that most restaurants are open. He's an artist. You don't want to take artists and force them to paint a painting that they don't want to paint or paint on a day that they don't want to. Wouldn't you want them to paint you a painting? Interestingly enough, I've got my new painting here from Sigmund de Fontana, which I need to rehang, by the way. Wouldn't you want someone to paint you a painting on the day that they are the most inspired, right? Not because they decided to do it by a certain date, so they better hurry up and do it today for you. Same. If your business is a work of art, and I argue that we're all artists, we're all creators, you've got to find the ways of running your business that make the most sense for you so that you are the most of the time in your flow. Okay, so the other decision that he made, which I freaking love, is he got tired with this recent influx of tourists. During COVID, when it was only locals, he realized how much he really enjoyed making food for his friends and for the locals, and that there's just such a beautiful community here. And he realized when that was happening, and in fact, I spoke with a lot of business owners that when we got the influx of tourists back, everybody was a little like, oh my God, I'm busy again. And I kind of liked not being so busy. And I was wishing for tourists, but this is too much. And everybody's sort of making changes and adjustments, as I'm sure a lot of you are, as I'm sure a lot of other people are, based on, ooh, that sort of time off or time of low time was actually serving me. And I don't want to all the way speed back up to type A North American run type pace, right? Same with him, even though he was, operating at a decent pace for him, he realized how much he loved seeing the locals in the community. And when the influx of tourists came, he was serving tourists that he would see once and then maybe not again, right? And he wasn't enjoying serving so many tourists. And people like me and friends of mine would be like, hey, can we, get in on Thursday nights? And he'd be like, I'm sorry, like I'm full. And he would have to turn his locals and friends away because he was already full with tourists. Now we got savvy and figured it out that he was that busy, and we got, made up reservations with him in advance, right? Everybody adjusts. But he wasn't finding as much fulfillment. And so now he will only take reservations from people that he knows. And I have friends that, can get tourists in, and it's not that he won't see a tourist. He's not being, he's not turning all tourists away, but you have to have an in. And that's one way that he is covering himself with staying on the right pace, serving the people that he's always served, the locals in particular. And then for sure, a lot of tourists that come in and out that have, that figure out that he's good and they can get an in, they get, it's, again, he's not trying to like VIP himself. He's trying to, or he is serving the people that he is best at serving. He loves to have, and we love to go because it's not full of tourists. I do always see somebody I know there. And yes, there's tourists there, but there's a blend that really feeds his soul. Again, he gets to then serve the people that he loves to serve, make the food for the people that he wants to make. And of course, there's always in and out and new people coming in, but he has a different percentage of tourists than locals that fits him. Now, if I were to put that in a like MBA run your business book, that's probably not what people would recommend. In North America, in the masculine way of running business, you must figure out where your clients are and then serve them at the time in which and the way in which that they want to be served. What about you as a business owner? If you're a creator, if you're putting your talent out in the world, and this isn't to say that your clients aren't important, they're critical, but you don't have to serve every single person, right? He's not saying I have to serve all tourists that come to this island. He's a very small restaurant. He's not interested in being larger. He's very happy with his life, with his business. He's defined success for himself, and he serves people that he knows better. He needs the right amount of people that he knows to be, or the right ratio of people that he knows to be in his restaurant. So he made a business decision that makes sense for him, for his business, for his magic, and that continues to fulfill him at a deeper level. No apologies. I freaking love this decision. Let me know how this is resonating with you guys. Okay, so that's story number 2. And then the other story that I love is we have one supermarket on the island. There are 2 locations, but it's the same owner, it's not even a chain, I don't think. We have 2 supermarkets. And we have a lot of Honduran, products here, but because there are so many expats and so many tourists, there's a section in the grocery store where there's a bunch of North American brands of certain foods. Like you can get Bob's Red Mill, and you can get Bragg's, what's it called? Apple cider vinegar and things like that, right? So you can get certain brands here. They've just sort of tried it out and seen who buys what and what people request. And they've just sort of created this little section of the grocery store. So what they do is they experiment, they go through whatever. One time, and I will preface this story with, I wasn't here for this, so this is all hearsay, so I may be getting some pieces wrong, but I think the essence of the story is worthwhile of sharing. There was some product, I think it was a drink of some sort, that was being stocked, and it was new, and nobody had seen it before, right? And so what happens with a brand new product from the United States is inevitably somebody will go to the store and be like, oh my God, they have this thing that I haven't seen in so many years, and they're gonna buy some, and they're gonna tell their friends, oh my God, you guys have to buy some. And so everybody got excited, and everybody went and bought it, and they flew off the shelves. They sold out in 2 days. Amazing, right? They had a great idea. It was successful. Their clients or their customers wanted the thing. They took the thing, they sold the thing. Amazing. What do you think what decision do you think they made after this? Maybe this happened twice, let's say, right? They buy it, they stock it, flies off the shelf. Everybody wants it, right? Those of us in North America would say, great business decision, great way to make money. Maybe you should order more. Maybe you should make more space on the shelves for more. Maybe you should mark up the price because it's in high demand and you can make more money, right? These guys decided that it was a lot of hassle and they don't want to stock it anymore. So this product is no longer available because it was super popular, because they flew off the shelves. It was not the way that they wanted to do business. They didn't want to, hi Alice, welcome. They didn't want to insert that whatever, right? Again, I haven't spoken to the business owner of this grocery store. I'm just telling you what I know of what happened, right? My assumption is they didn't want to insert this frenzy of, oh my God, right? The toilet paper's flying off the shelf in COVID. We have to, we're freaking out. They were like, yeah, no, that's just too much work, too much effort, right? The amount of money we could make, we're not going to gouge people's with prices. The amount of money we could make isn't worth the extra. Let's say they even had like a supply chain issue, right? Who knows what the process was to even receive this product? It might have been, a whole different process, and it might have caused a lot of time, maybe even effort and money to get the thing, and then maybe they weren't able to sell it, didn't want to, sell it for more. Who knows, right? It could have been a money-driven decision, but on the surface, it's not what you would think a typical business owner would choose to decide for their business. And I love it. Unapologetic, they made the decision that it wasn't worth it. Yeah, and the story goes, or the rumor is, that the person who said, why don't you cover this anymore? Like, it flew off the shelf. It did great. Everybody wanted it. It was like, yeah, it was too much. It was too much. And I laugh, and when I first heard that, I really spent a lot of time myself with this particular story, with this story in particular. Because at first I laughed and I was just like, oh, this is so funny, like how different people run businesses differently, right? And mostly it's a commentary, I think, on Central American culture and North American culture, right? If you're ever interested, there's a really beautiful book called Beyond Culture. What's the guy's name? Anthony Hall? Somebody Hall wrote this book called Beyond Culture. And essentially what it is, this is a little bit of a tangent, but there are, just like there are personality tests, types, personality styles and types out there that you can use different models to understand people's personality style. Same with cultural styles, right? We know some typical things, like I think a lot of people know some stereotypical things with like German culture or Chinese culture versus like Latin American culture for time, for example, right? The Germans are always on time or early. Latin Americans are like, the wedding starts at 2 and everybody shows up at 5, right? There are all different kinds of, what do you call them? Like dimensions, like there's personal space, there's the concept of time, all kinds of things that you can learn about in that book. There are other books about it, but that's one of my favorites. So just talking about the way that I took in this information is I took it as, oh my God, that is the funniest story about like Central America and like how they don't do it the way we do it, right? And I just thought it was so funny. Like they're not stereotypically culturally into as much of the rat race, into the, hurry up and be efficient and do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. Things are a lot more relaxed, especially on the island. And for them to make that decision, when I first heard it, I was like, that's hilarious. Like, I love it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And I just thought it was funny. And then the more I sat and thought about it, I was like, wow, it just proves my point that I'm always trying to make. And it's the type of thing that the reason that I say you can run your business on your own, well, let me say this. it just proves my point that you really can run your business on your own damn terms. You really can. And that's not to say, don't get your customers the product that they want, but don't. If it doesn't make sense for you as a business owner, you can serve them in other ways. And so often, I think the way that we traditionally have been taught to run businesses is, I think, much more narrowly minded and focused around money. And I think that then makes people think that that's the only way to do it and that's the only way to make money. And I just disagree. And I have spent a lot of time researching people who do it differently, researching, businesses that became successful when everybody told them that they couldn't, right? Because that's not how they do it. Don't do it the way, you have to do it this way. And people were like, no, I'm going to do it that way. That's entrepreneurship, right? And it's also personally one of the reasons why it's my biggest value and why I don't shut up about it and why you're going to always just hear me talk about the fact that you can run your business on your own terms is because it's one of the reasons I didn't start a business any sooner. I've always known about myself from when I was in high school. I knew that I would have just stylistically done better working for myself versus working for someone else. This is before I even had any business idea. But I never thought it was something I could do because I thought business savvy. I didn't think that was the space that I wanted to spend time in because I grew up in consulting where even though I learned a very non-traditional way of consulting, I ended up consulting to very traditional companies. And on the one hand, that made me very valuable because I tried to help them think differently. But on the other hand, it was just a huge struggle for me to be dealing with people who weren't interested in thinking differently. I had to figure out a way around to get them to think differently. And it was really a challenge for me. It was not the best use of these skills, which is why I'm serving you guys now. But again, for me personally, it was a value that I had to keep coming back to. It was a lesson that I still, having been in business for almost 4 years now, I still have to keep reminding myself and coming back to when I need to make a business decision that, yes, I can look at what other people are doing for data and for information and to help me understand what options are out there and for me to be able to sort of think through things. But ultimately, no different from your life, you have to make your own decisions. You have to decide what's best for you. You have to decide what's best for your business. And there's no wrong way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. If you are true to yourself and to the work that you're putting out in the world, you will figure out the best way to do that. And you're going to learn things and you're going to make mistakes, but I don't really think mistakes exist. It's a learning curve. But I find over and over and over again with people that I've studied, with people that have mentored me, and then now also with my clients, that there is no one way to do it. And that's what I help my clients do. That's how I run my business every day. And then I'm going to close this with a story. It's not even a story, a little example for me. I've been on vacation for the last 2.5 weeks. I planned my vacation based on my family's schedule and airline tickets and availability and that type of thing. And when I finished purchasing my tickets, I realized that I was going to be not only on vacation for 2 weeks, but specifically because of the days that I was flying, I was going to miss potentially 3 Wednesdays. Yeah, I was going to miss 3 Wednesdays. And I always go live on Wednesday. And so I really sat and thought about it. What do I want to do? I've been going live every Wednesday for I don't know how long. How do I want to serve my clients? How do I want to serve my audience, but still serve me? I really needed a break. And I went back and forth. Maybe I'll pre-record something. Maybe I'll put something else out. Maybe I'll do some sort of other, maybe I'll, go live while I'm on vacation and that'll be the only thing I do on vacation. And I was like, no, that doesn't feel right to me. What I need to do is run my business right now on my own terms. And that's not to say F the rest of you, right? And I'm the only important one, right? But how can I best serve my clients in my way? Well, what do I need as a coach right now for my fulfillment, for my well-being, right? Because if I'm fulfilled and I'm healthy and happy emotionally, physically, et cetera, then that means I can better serve my clients. So I need a vacation just like everyone else does. And so for me to shortchange my vacation just because I always say I'm going to go live on Wednesday, that didn't feel right to me. At the same time, I have another value of consistency. I like to show up consistently. I post every day in this group. I go live every Wednesday. One of those Wednesdays every month is a live intuitive reading. I'd like to be consistent. I'd like to show up for you. That's part of my value of how I serve. I like to be consistent. And so that didn't feel right, though, to not be consistent. And so I had to figure it out. So for me, what I did is I wrote a couple of posts about, thank you for the hearts. And Courtney says 100% glad you honored that. So what I did is I did a couple of little workarounds. First off, I did my social media in advance of going on vacation. So I had everything scheduled and my assistant supported me with that. So I put a couple of posts on Wednesdays about lives. I sent you back to, I told you about lives coming up, or I sent you back to old lives, go catch the replay of something else. I did a post about why vacation is important. Hey, you're not going to see me live today because I'm on vacation. Did you take a vacation this month? I don't remember what it said, something like that, right? Did you take a vacation this summer? Where do you need to take a little break? That's me walking my talk, but that's great as a model, as a business coach. Okay. But more important is I have to make sure that I'm taking care of me. I have to make sure that I'm running my business holistically in a way that makes sense for me and doesn't just tunnel vision with, but you always show up on Wednesdays, so you got to go live on Wednesdays, so you have to go live on Wednesdays, right? And that's the only way you're going to continue to serve your people, and that's the only way anybody's going to ever sign up to work with you again, and blah, blah, blah. No, I had to let go of that. I had to let go of the fact that some of you might have been disappointed because you count on my Wednesday lives and you use that for training or you use that as ideas or whatever you do with it, right? That somebody might be disappointed. I had to let go of that someone who I really want to serve might be disappointed because they wanted something from me, but I'm not offering it today. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm just going to take care of my business holistically. And that's what makes sense for my business. That's what makes sense for me. And it's the added bonus of me walking my talk. I'm modeling what I'm asking my clients to do. I've coached half of my clientele this summer to take time off. And they've done it. And it's beautiful. One of my clients took 6 weeks off. It's amazing. In a row, 6 weeks off in a row. Nothing, no emails, nothing, right? So I have to be able to do that myself. And I know it's the right thing for me. I know it's the right thing for me. I knew it was the right thing for me, right? So again, where in your business can you make a decision that's right for you? It doesn't mean you're screwing over your clients. It doesn't mean you're going to turn business away. And in fact, what I find, using the pizza example, the guy that ran out of the pizza sauce and didn't make more pizza sauce, he closed for the night. Let's use that as an example. You could worry and assume that that was a bad business decision strictly based on only narrowly looking at the people that you turned away. But you're not going to be able, I don't care who you are, unless maybe you're Apple, but even then, you're not going to be able to serve everyone. Some people like, what do you call it? Oh my God. It's not analog. Oh my God, what's the opposite of an Apple phone? Such an Apple user. Anyway, some people don't like Apple phones. Some people like Apple phones. You're never going to serve everyone. And that's not your job. And when you try to serve everyone, you water down your actual product. You water down your actual service. You water down your magic, because your magic is meant for the right people. And so when he quote unquote turned away people that because he ran out of pizza sauce, he just trusted that the people that were meant to eat his pizza already got it or will come back tomorrow or later this week. And for those of us who know that he runs out of pizza sauce regularly, we make a point that when we're kind of craving pizza, we don't just like, oh yeah, we can get it anytime. We're like, maybe we should make a point to get pizza early tonight, just to make sure we get it. He's actually creating a demand, right? That wasn't his intention, but it may turn around and give you a beautiful financial return anyway. But that's not the point. You can't make all of your business decisions based on money. And you can't assume that a business decision that on the surface or at first glance might not be a profitable decision. You also can't assume that it won't turn into a profitable decision. I want to say one other thing, but I'm just going to check the comments. You're cute. Courtney says, 100% glad you honored that, but I did miss your face though. I love it. Aw, Alice says same. Love you guys. What you share with us is a gift. Samsung, Android. It's not Android. Samsung. Okay, Apple or Samsung. Clearly, I'm a tech person. Alice says totally agree. So, right? Oh gosh, what was the other thing I wanted to say? The other thing I wanted to say is one of the things that I keep relearning, and I don't have any hard data from these 3 examples. Well, I used my own, so 4 examples right now, but I've seen this time and time again from famous people to famous entrepreneurs to you know, successful actors that had a big break because they said no to something that didn't feel right, even though it was their only offer at the time and they couldn't pay their bills, and then they got their big break like the next day. Like you can't so narrowly you can't so narrowly look at your business. That's why I have a business coach. That's why I am a business coach. That's why I think coaches of any sort, whether it's me or someone else, is one of the best investments you can make in your business, because it helps you get out of your narrow focus so that you can see the forest for the trees. So you can look at your business holistically to make the right decision for you, because you can very quickly go, oh shit, I can't turn clients away today. I better scramble and make some more pizza sauce. And the truth is, or go even worse, go buy some pizza sauce down the street, right? Water down your product to be able to serve the volume. That was not his choice. He stayed true to the quality of what he did, what he offers, his product, his delicious pizza. Again, these are all great examples of people who were brave enough to honor their own intuitive knowing, to honor themselves and their own needs and the needs of their staff and the needs of the business and the essence of what they provide. They were brave enough to stand strong and to not scramble, to not run after every single potential client or customer, because they stayed true to their values and what they offer. And what happens when you do that, back to my point a minute ago, if you narrowly focus on that, then you're narrowly focused on just money, or what looks like it's going to give you money, or what on the surface is a good financial decision. And then you miss the possibility or the opportunity to stay true to your values, to stay in the strength and the essence of the work that you do and the energy of your business, which when you do that, strengthens your brand, strengthens what you offer, strengthens the value of what you offer, right? They didn't go get shitty pizza sauce and slap it on their pizza. So everybody knows that the pizza sauce is so good that they won't scramble to make it. They're only going to serve what they have that's really good. Hey, maybe I'm going to try some of that pizza sauce because it's good quality, right? They didn't water down their product, and you're strengthening the energy and the brand of what it is that you offer, which time and time again brings you more of your people. Energetically, that's just the way it works. It doesn't necessarily happen overnight. It's not a thing that you can measure. And that's not why you make that decision. You make that decision to stay in integrity with yourself and with your business. It just happens to have a beautiful effect on the other side. Is it instant? No. No. And people who tell you it is are liars. Can you make a decision and then get a very quick, amazing win after it? Yes. I can't tell you how many clients I've had that have gone on vacation and then had their biggest month when they came back, or gone on vacation and had, full calendar of people who wanted to talk to them for new business when they got back. A client didn't pay, and then you go on vacation and they pay while you're on vacation, because you're taking the pressure off of the energy and the pressure off and you're allowing things to come to you. So never, ever, ever think that you have to run your business the way that somebody else tells you to. It's your business, it's your creation, it's your baby. And it's not to say you have to recreate the wheel, but know that you can stay in integrity with you and who you are, what you offer. And even if you're turning people away because because you ran out of pizza sauce, it's still going to serve you and your business in the long run, whether it's financial, whether it's based on integrity, whether it's fulfillment, whether it's you staying in your own pace, which means you're able to keep going. Let me know how this resonates with you guys. I hope you've had a great couple of weeks. I'm super excited to be back. I'm refreshed and ready to go. For those of you, I have a lot of messages in my inbox that I have not gotten to because I didn't reply while I was on vacation. So if you've got a message out to me, I will get to it in the next 2 to 3 business days, including today. I'm going to get back to everybody. So sit tight, and I'm coming. And thank you for your message in advance, and I will get back to you. I hope everybody's doing great. Next Wednesday is this month's intuitive reading. So definitely make sure you catch that. I'm just going to quickly check our comments. Okay, I don't see any more comments. So I am going to leave it here for now. Happy Thursday, everybody. Have a great, great weekend. If you haven't taken a vacation or a break, I highly recommend it. And if you're interested in doing some coaching, let me know. I'll drop my little link in the comments for a free call. If you're interested in just chatting about how I coach, what's going on with your business, see if we're a good fit. I've got a couple of slots opening up next month. So see you then next Wednesday. Bye guys, much love.